Hello to all my friends in room 149. It's Miss Deb, and I'm here with this week's Read Aloud. We're continuing with our ocean animals theme, and so this week's book is Mr. Seahorse. Look how beautiful his colors are. This book is all about Mr. Seahorse and lots of other different kinds of fish that live under the sea, including some that are hiding, and we have to help find them. So I hope that you look and listen and enjoy Mr. Seahorse by Eric Carle. Here we go. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse were drifting gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that. Ooh, there she goes. Wonder why she's wiggling. It's time for me to lay my eggs, she said. Can I help? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Oh, yes, thank you, said Mrs. Seahorse, and she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. I'll take good care of our eggs, said Mr. Seahorse. I promise. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a group of trumpet fish hidden in a patch of reeds. Hey guys, here's the patch of reeds. Does anyone see the trumpet fish? Let's look behind the reeds, shall we? Oh, there they are. Look at those trumpet fish. They're so long. Nice green tails. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Delighted, said Mr. Stickleback. I just built a nest, and right away Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. There they are. Keep up the good work, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a lionfish hidden behind a coral reef. Well, here's the coral reef. Does anybody see a lionfish hiding there? Let's take a look behind and see. Oh, there he is! The lionfish. He was hiding behind there. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Oh, but Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer because his mouth was full of eggs. Oh, I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs, and now you are taking good care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. You must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by several leaf fish hidden among the seaweed. All right, guys, let's see. Do you see the seaweed? There's a lot of seaweed here. Can you see any fish? I don't know if I can even see the fish. Let's look behind the seaweed, shall we? Oh, there's the leaf fish. They're kind of shaped like leaves. I bet that's why they're named leaf fish. They were hiding. We found them. Oh, but before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Curtis? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Perfectly fine, replied Mr. Curtis. Mrs. Curtis laid her eggs, and I have them stuck on my head. Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch. You're doing a good job, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. Oh, Mr. Seahorse is swimming upside down. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by a stonefish hidden behind a rock. Okay, I definitely don't see a fish behind here. Do you? Look at that big rock. Let's see. Hold on a second. Found it. There's the stonefish. Ooh, he's a little scary looking. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Pipe? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Ooh, look at that long pipefish. I couldn't be better, replied Mr. Pipe. Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly, and now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. Look at that, guys. There's his belly, and look at all those little eggs he's taking care of. You should feel very proud of yourself, said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Bullhead? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Tip-top, replied Mr. Bullhead. Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs, and the eggs hatched, and now I'm babysitting. Look at all those babies he has to look after. Whoa. Well, you're doing a fine job, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. Bye, Mr. Bullhead, and your hundreds of fish babies. Good luck with that. The time had come for the seahorse babies to be born. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted this way and that. And at last, the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch, and they swam away. There's the pouch, and they're like, woohoo, we're free. One baby turned around and tried to come back into the pouch. Oh, no, said Mr. Seahorse. I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own. So swim away, my beautiful seahorse babies. And there they go, off into the ocean. Ah, the end. Did you enjoy that book? There were so many different kinds of fish in here, so many interesting things to see. Mr. Seahorse did a good job. He said hi to all the other babies in the ocean, and he took care of his own. Well, friends, I hope that you enjoyed this book. And as always, I wish that we could be together, but this is the next best thing. So I am sending you a read aloud kiss and a read aloud hug. And I hope that you have a great, great rest of your day. Bye.